to Winning the Division, episode number 58. This is the AFC West division preview tonight. Last one in the AFC conference, finishing off with the two NFC divisions next 2 weeks. But we'll get to that in just a few minutes, as we do here on First Things First. Ben, let's start it out here with the headlines, transactions around the league, as we call it here. First things first. Steelers defensive end Cam Hayward hints at sitting out into the season over his contract. Said, my goal is to be out here, but I don't know what's going to happen. Have to be honest with myself to be ready for every option. And drafted by number 31 back in 2011 by the Steelers. He's, I want to say, 36 years old now. 2-year, $29 million extension signed last September, about a year ago. So he still has a year left on that deal, Ben. So thoughts on Cam Hayward threatening to stay out into the season?
I mean, when you look at the fact that T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby got paid. Cam Hayward was a first-team All-Pro in 2024. I know everybody wants to talk about Jalen Carter for the Eagles. Jalen Carter was a second-team All-Pro. Cam Hayward was a first-team All-Pro. He's a four-time first-team All-Pro. I know he might have been born in the 80s, but he's still getting it done like he was born in the early 2000s. That man wants his money. And if anybody has earned their money not named T.J. Watt, it is Cam Hayward.
Let's keep it moving to Myles Garrett. He not Shador, but Myles Garrett cited for 100 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone on Saturday morning, late, probably driving home from the stadium after getting back from Carolina. If I'm being quite honest, that's probably when that occurred.
Listen, these Cleveland Police Department, Cleveland police officers, they've been dealing with a lot. I mean, first you got Shador, now you got Myles. Listen, fellas, we understand you got real fast cars and you got real heavy feet. Go get you an economy car, right? They got to, and get you back and forth, because it's not so much they're driving fast. I mean, you hit somebody, man, it's gonna be bad. So it's gonna be much ado about nothing. But slow down, Shador. Slow down, Myles.
And let's keep going. Kyle Shanahan, 49ers head coach, eyeing week 6 return for Brandon Ayuk, coming off that injury last season, the ACL and MCL injury.
The Ayuk situation is one that's very, very tumultuous. When you talk about he got his big deal, then he wasn't having the year he wanted, then he got hurt. It's going to be about not the fact that when he comes back, how fast can he gel? I mean, you still got a lot of season left with it being 17 games. With a bye week, I don't know about week 6. They're going to have their bye week yet, but how fast is he going to gel? A lot of Ricky Pearsall, a lot of CMC, a lot of George Kittle, but you can't go wrong when you add a key addition and a key weapon like Brandon Ayuk.
Let's go to Matthew Stafford. He did not take part in practice on Monday after being expected to take part in individual drills. He's dealing with an aggravated disc in his back. It's well known at this point. I think if it was a regular season game, it sounds like he would be playing. But, Stafford is, I want to say, 36, 37 years old. So this is definitely something to watch. Are you worried about Stafford at all come September? What would that be? September 7th?
I'm not. I mean, I think sometimes most guys, when they've been in the league well over 10, well over a decade, regardless of position, they get days off. Sometimes you got to give your body rest. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been doing it a long time at a very, very high level. Him having to sit out a little bit of time to get his body back right, and that's the least he's earned that at this point in his career.
Off the court settling, Nevada High Court sides with John Gruden, former NFL head coach of the Oakland Raiders and the Tampa Bay Bucks, in lawsuit over NFL emails back to 2021, saying the NFL leaked damaging media emails to the media before he resigned from the Oakland Raiders back in 2021.
When Dan Snyder sold the Washington Redskins, that became the Washington football team that is now the Washington Commanders, when he sold them, that hurt the NFL's case, because the one owner that he was going back and forth with is no longer an owner. He does have a case, but here's the thing. While he gets to go to court, all those emails are going to come out. So while he has won this first round, court is a totally different thing, because now you're going up against the NFL with their lawyers. That's going to be one to watch right there, people.
And then let's finish with a host of injuries before we bring in our AFC North compadres for this preview. Eagles offensive lineman Landon Dickerson eyeing return for an opener. He's going to have a minor procedure on his meniscus injury. I'm going to just give them all to you at one time. Dolphins running back Alexander Madison out for the season with a neck injury. Left tackle for the Chargers, Rashawn Slater, out for the season with a torn patella tendon. And then, unfortunately, just happened a few hours ago, Texans tight end Brevin Jordan in tears after suffering a leg injury. He missed most of 2024 with an ACL tear in his knee as well.
Oh, man. I mean, the Brevin Jordan situation, that's a heartbreaker. Remember Brevin when he came out of high school, the number one tight end, did go down there to the U, had a chance to interview him some moons ago. Hey, man, get better, youngin. I know it's rough, but injuries are a part of it. I mentioned Slater was the big news. I say, well, last week going out for the entire year. Sign this big deal. We talked about that's why guaranteed monies and a guaranteed years or future years is always good. Landon Dickerson, I mean, I saw that he's gonna be back for week 1, and it's not like season ending, but he's gonna miss some time, but you can't get that back. And what's the running back?
Dolphins, former Vikings and Raiders running back now with the Dolphins, Alexander Madison.
Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, the neck injuries are things that happen more times than not, Smitty, but he's going to be out for the year. But we always going to err on the side of caution when it comes to these injuries. I know you want to play and I know you want to get back. I know this is your livelihood, but if you're out for the season, you're going to fall in love with you're going to fall in love with the training room, but you're going to fall out of love with the trainer that's going to be designated to get you back right. And if you do get a chance to come back before the season started, even with the Brandon Ayuk coming back 6 weeks into the season, take your time to err on the side of patience, but do all you can to get stronger.
The other two notable ones real quick, but not season ending, which is why I put this in a separate category, was Titans running back Tajay Spears was carted off the other night after the preseason game. It sounds like he's week to week with a knee injury and expected to be season ending, but now it may not be. Texans safety CJ Gardner-Johnson, his knee injury now expected not to be season ending, but we don't know when he'll be returning this year.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw Tajay. I am happy that it is week to week. I mean, when it comes to the running backs, I mean, lower extremities are always going to be at the forefront. That's how you make your money. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I'm happy that it is not an MCL, ACL, or PCL. But once again, D'Amico Ryans and company, they're definitely going to be monitoring him. And another guy that I don't know how serious it was, but they did say that Darius Slay, former of Detroit and Philly, now with Pittsburgh, had a ankle injury that kind of walked up the field. I don't know if it's serious, but they did say he had an ankle injury today.
And with that, we move into our AFC West division preview, bringing in our guests right now. We've got Ryan Craig, Tom Lehman. You can see their affiliates there pretty easily on the screen. Chiefs and Raiders represented. And then we're going to have Andrew for the Broncos. He'll be in about 15 minutes or so. He's on Mountain Time, so he'll be here at a short order in about 15 minutes. So Ben and I will be the Chargers affiliates tonight, gentlemen. We'll do our best to talk about the Chargers between the two of us. So welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show. Introduce yourself and let us know how you became a fan of your team.
Yeah, hey guys, appreciate you having me on. Excited to be a part of this today, albeit across the screen from a Chiefs fan, and just like a Denver fan to show up late to this thing. But excited to be here. Born and raised in Northern Virginia, DC suburbs, fell in love with the Raiders in the '84 Super Bowl. It was the Marcus Allen run, the game that he had. All of my family was Redskins fans at the time, and I was, just like any kid going against the grain. So fell in love with the culture of the Raiders at the time with Howie Long, Lyle Alzado, the tough guy mentality. And then Bo Jackson came along and my walls were plastered in Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan. So just a huge fan. Stayed with them through thick and thin. And right now it's awfully thin, but excited to talk about this year.
It's been thin.
That's true. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm Tom. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, but I've been a Chiefs fan since 1968. So I go back to the Raiders and Chiefs when Blanda and LaMonica and Ben Davidson and all them rough games.
Yeah.
The guys I followed was Nolan Smith, a little kick returner, and Otis Taylor. They were kind of like the guys I followed, but I've been a Chiefs fan for a long time, and now I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, Tom is basically saying, listen, for what I went through, y'all gonna have to deal with me. If you don't want to, I get it. I mean, listen, you guys don't know pain, Ryan and Tom. I said, listen, you got to, Ryan is Panthers. I'm Falcons. However you want to look at that, I know misery. I know it. I know. And Ryan, I was with the Raiders in 2008 when they had, Jamarcus Russell and Darren McFadden and D'Angelo Hall and Nnamdi Asomugha. So and Al Davis was still alive. I didn't even know. Listen. This other Davis guy, Mark, I never seen Mark Davis in my life until his daddy died, and all of a sudden, this guy who cares. Listen, he cares about making a bunch of money, and he doesn't respect barbers. He don't respect barbershops at all. He sits in the chair with a hat on. They cut around the hat, and he gets up. Thank you. I'll see you guys. But no. But I'm looking forward to having a good show, man. I think this division don't get enough credit for how much they genuinely hate one another. I got to experience it for a little bit, but yeah, people always talking about the NFC East or the AFC North. I said, listen, dude, the AFC West, that's a different level of hatred. I don't care if the Raiders are in Oakland or in Vegas. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Rough. Yep.
I sent you some questions. We'll just start with the first general one. What are you looking forward to going into the 2025 season?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's obviously a lot of change again with the Raiders. And so I feel like, every few years we're starting fresh. This year feels different, as have some of the prior turnovers at the head coaching position, quarterback position. But this year I'm looking forward to finding out if you can really make a culture change this quickly. The team is used to losing, and when you're used to losing, you get really good at it. You forget how to win. So I am hopeful that the pedigree that Pete brings to the coaching staff, can really help change the culture. So I'm a realist. I don't expect things to turn around overnight, but I do look forward to competing in a little bit better way than we have the last few years.
Yeah, well, all the teams look good right now on paper. That's for sure. Everybody's improved. I expect, or I hope that the Chiefs their scoring is going to be quite a bit higher than it's been the last couple of years. They're barely scoring 20 points a game, kind of, and I just think they need to get back. I'm expecting them to finally get back to being one of the top scoring teams in the league. So top 5 or something in scoring, I'm hoping for. They push the ball down the field. They got speed. I think with their offensive line improvement, they'll be better that way. With that rookie tackle, I think he's going to be the real steal.
Speaking of tackles, and while we're waiting, like I said, for about a few more minutes for my Broncos guy to get on, we were just talking about Rashawn Slater there in First Things First. As a neutral, not Chargers fans, obviously, how do you feel like that Rashawn Slater injury is going to affect the Chargers and Justin Herbert? Do you think Joe Alt will slide easily into left tackle there and that they're not going to miss a beat? I mean, he played really well, obviously, with right tackle last year. How do you guys view that loss for the Chargers?
It's interesting because I think about our own issue right now with the Raiders. And if you watch the preseason game against Seattle, we were moving some guys around. And so we moved Jackson Powers Johnson from center to right guard, trying some different things. And one of my biggest concerns is about continuity. Right. And so I feel like in order for the Raiders to win this year, you have to be good in the trenches. We're not going to outscore anybody. Let's be honest. Right. But if we can slow things down a little bit. So when I think of the situation that the Chargers are in, that's the anchor of their line, protecting Herbert, protecting his blind side. Now you've got to switch things up a little bit. So, Harbaugh is a genius, so he'll figure it out from a schematic standpoint, but will they keep the same level of continuity and communication that they've had with Slater anchoring that line? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big loss because they got a big offensive line, too. Didn't they pick up some guy from Philly, some big dude?
Yeah, they got Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton, yes.
So they got, they're just going to maul people and run the ball, I guess, and have Herbert pick his shots kind of thing is what I was seeing, and control the clock, I suppose. But, I mean, because they got some good backs.
If Jim Harbaugh, I mean, knowing him, if he could win every game 9-7 with a strong running game, I think he would do it. Let's be honest. Right.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely got a two-headed monster at the running game, getting a young rookie out of North Carolina and Najee Harris. But the thing about the Chargers, once again, Harbaugh, is he great for football? Yes. Is he a great coach? Yes. But he picked the wrong division. When he came back, I said, "Do you pick the wrong division?" I think the Chargers are going to be good, right? We know the Chargers are going to be good, but I think the Chargers are. I'm trying to think of a team in the NFC. They good, but not great. They good enough to be. The Chargers are really, really similar. I'm trying to compare them to a team that maybe like the Vikings. The
Vikings are Green Bay. Yeah.
Because listen. Justin Herbert, I saw him go down to Jacksonville. I saw Trevor Lawrence throw 5 picks. And I said, you know what they're going to do? They're going to win. You know why? Because Asante Samuels Jr. is his dad. He picks off balls. He don't tackle people. He don't. And I said, Travis either going to run right at him and going to run right around him and they kick the field goal. I don't get why Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback. I respect Herbert. And I know he got all his boys back with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Got the boys back in town, but you lost with them before. Y'all was losing when y'all was with each other before. I think this division is whole different. And I think, yes, I'm a little biased because I did play for the silver and black. And it is silver and black. It's not black and silver. It's silver and black. I'm just saying Geno Smith is going to switch up because the Raiders got to have a quarterback, one, that can push the ball down the field. I understand what Pete Carroll trying to do. And it don't hurt to have the GOAT walking through the building. Just, it don't hurt. Tom Brady said, because we'll see. But I think this division is, with a guy like Bo Nix, who had a better year statistically than Jaden Daniels last year, by the way. And he proved on Sean Payton right. We thought Payton couldn't coach no more. Like, hey, man, he needs Drew Brees. Had Russell Wilson. Now he got the young rookie. But I'm just looking forward to get some of you guys' insights because I think, with Kansas City, it's so crazy to say Las Vegas Raiders. I'm so used to saying Oakland, but Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos and them LA Chargers, the other team. Are the Chargers the Mets of LA? I think they are. I think they are. I mean, we'll see. But no, I mean, here's the thing though. We know who's the best coach right now in the division. We know. What coach can put the most pressure on Andy Reid, you think, this year, Ryan? Do you think it's Carroll? Do you think it's Harbaugh? Do you think it's Sean? Because before you can beat a team, hey, man, I got to have a better team schematically or scheme than a guy like Andy Reid.
Yeah, I obviously I appreciate what Pete Carroll's done in his career. I think a year under Harbaugh's belt, a year under Sean Payton's belt, I think they can probably be more threatening. I'll be honest, the team that scares me the most, besides the Chiefs, is Denver.
Yeah,
I think Denver is just. I think Bo Nix is legit. I mean, year 2 is different than year 1. He's not going to sneak up on anybody anymore, right? But defensively, I think they'll put a stranglehold on you. You don't get a Pat Surtain very often. I mean, the value of a cornerback of that caliber taking away an entire side of the field is unbelievable. So, Denver could be a problem for sure. And I'm like you with the Chargers. I've heard the same thing for years with the Chargers. It's the same thing, different era, different quarterback, different coach. I do think Omarion Hampton, and now I'm in Cary, North Carolina, so I've been around. I've watched Omarion Hampton play football. The kid is going to be a stud. And if they lean on him, especially now that Slater's down, he's going to have a good year.
I mean, and listen, and Ryan, don't worry. I ain't going to be asking you to be complimentary of other teams in this division too much. Just asking because I saw a video time recently of, y'all two studs on defensive line. Chris Jones telling that, what is it? How you say his last name? Your defensive end just got the new deal. Kakis, I can't, from Iowa.
George Karlaftis?
Karlaftis. I'm good.
Yeah.
I guess Karlaftis is coming at Chris Jones. I didn't get into the conversation, but Chris Jones said, listen, man, give me 15 and a half sacks. Meaning, and I didn't take it out of context. Chris Jones is saying, look, man, I've done 15 and a half sacks twice, and I'm a defensive end / defensive tackle. And I guess what Chris is telling him is, look, George, I respect you, but they're gonna lean on us this year. You saw what happened last year? We won some games with blocked field goal. Y'all won some crazy games.
Yeah.
Y'all beat a team in Atlanta that I ain't gonna talk about that game. I'm gonna let that game go. I'm gonna y'all beat us. It's over with. Do you think though this defense is gonna have more pressure on them because the defense has always been good. I ain't saying that, but do you think the defense saying, listen, let's show 1-5 and this offense that y'all don't have to be 30 points a game to win. We can not shut no teams out, but do you think the defense is going to have a bigger role in 2025, even if the offense is going to play better?
Yeah, they have to have more sacks this year. They were down in sacks from the year before. They just have to get to the quarterback more. The defensive backs can't keep covering, and they gave up some big plays. But if they can get sacks, and they've improved their defensive line, so.
And don't worry, Ryan. Listen, what Christian Wilkins that's behind. No one really knows. No one really knows, right? And because we don't know, we ain't gonna ask you to speculate because we just gonna call it weird. It's the weirdest. I haven't heard too many things like that. Kissing booths or whatever they were talking. Christian, you walked away from a lot of money, sir. I guarantee you, Mrs. Wilkins is saying, "What are you doing, Christian? Like, what are you?" I thought I had heard it all when it comes to getting suspended or getting kicked off a team. I'm like, what? Like when Adam Schefter said, "Just know it was weird." Like, what you mean it was weird? Anyway, I'm just saying that I've never seen. He will end up back in the league. It's just I don't know how much that's going to stain his reputation because he's a really, really good player when he plays. He's a really, really good player. He's always been a fun-loving guy from all his days back in Clemson. He don't mind. I don't know. He's the only 300-pounder that could do a split. At least, and it's on tape. We've seen it in the national championship. So he's a fun-loving dude. I just didn't know. I don't know. I think it's more than what they said, but it was just weird when it finally came out because I guarantee you Pete Carroll did all he could to try to keep him around. But if it's disrupting the locker room, hey, man, I don't care who you are. We got to find a way to cut ties. Which hopefully the weakest PA, that being the Players Association in the NFL PA, with everything we've been dealing with that, you filing grievances with them. I don't know if they can help you. You might have to call John Gruden lawyer or something. He's been winning cases as of late. Maybe he can help you get. But that situation, until Christian Wilkins speaks about it, we'll never fully know. But that was a little bit. That's about as far as weird goes. Christian, you up there, number one, number two, as far as NFL history because of stuff like that. So,
Yeah, and that was disappointing because that's, like you said, he is unbelievably talented across that defensive line. And to anchor down, what I was so happy with was signing Max Crosby's extension. Like that, the Khalil Mack bundle of issues that they faced to get rid of him going to Chicago, like that was devastating when you had Derek Carr playing quarterback, you had Khalil Mack on the outside on your defensive line. I was mortified that they were going to do it again with Crosby and just let him go and do something stupid. But to anchor him down, but he's got to get help in the middle. But that stuff sounded weird, and I assumed it had something to do with Crosby too, but it sounds like it might have been some of the other interior linemen. So,
I'm glad they kept Crosby too, because that makes it even more fun to watch them games with the Chiefs with him and Mahomes going at it.
I love the mic'd up between those two guys, man. Yeah. It is some great entertainment.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get my Broncos guy in here. He's on the stage.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
What's up, buddy?
Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect coming on as a Broncos fan. I didn't realize there were Chiefs fans on this show. That's really a shame. So,
okay. Well, go ahead. I know you from so many years ago, but introduce yourself to everyone here and just kind of how you became a Broncos fan.
Oh, well, my name is Andrew Hathaway. I know Ryan from his time at UNC Charlotte. I was on staff with a Christian ministry called Campus Outreach. And Ryan has always been a big super fan. March Madness, man, he'd always get a bracket going. He has always been a sports enthusiast. So a little bit of my story, we moved from Charlotte. So I used to live in Charlotte actually, stick with me on this. I was born and raised a Giants fan. Moved to Charlotte. I was there. Let's see. I was in Cornelius. I'll never forget the day after Panthers lost the Super Bowl to the Broncos. I had no idea at that point I was going to move to Denver. I've never seen so many men like quietly sobbing at their desks. And we moved out here in 2016. And we did not have any kids at that point. And so I was like, man, do I really want to subject my kids to the misery of growing up as Giants fans and, only being able to see that in person maybe once a year if we're lucky? Or do I want to raise them as Broncos fans where they can actually grow up going to games and we can enjoy together? So I decided to shift my alliances and my fanhood to the Broncos, and I've gone all in. And, that's not looking like such a bad choice. I think they're on the up and up. I'm pretty optimistic about this upcoming year. I love what we're building around Bo Nix. I think Sean Payton was a great hire. And, I don't really know why we took a cornerback in the first round of the draft. We have a great secondary already, but, we did that. And I'm optimistic about this upcoming year. So.
Well, let's keep it moving, and we'll get into it, guys. Real quick, Tom, before we get into that, one Panther question for you. Turk Wharton coming over from the Chiefs. Is he? What do you think of him? Losing him, is that a big loss for you guys, or is that just kind of a rotational guy that you easily can replace with guys that Reed just kind of plugs in?
He was solid for us. He really was. And he came from like Missouri science and math or something like that, some school. And he's a big dude. He's solid. And he came off an injury a couple years ago and he got better. Like he had a really good year last year. He was a lot better than Noddy. And there was another guy, Saunders. So he was key. He was key on the line. I think he had like 6 or 8 sacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had 8 sacks last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's get into kind of the division preview. I sent all of you some questions that I was kind of going to ask throughout the show, and then Ben and I kind of had some questions we'll kind of ask interchangeably kind of as the conversation flows. Before I get into the team by team here, which we're going to go pretty quickly to keep it moving, but one of the questions I sent earlier was, who is one non-star player on your team that you think will take a next step this year? Who do you got for me? Any of you can go.
Yeah, I'll jump in. For me, it's about the wide receiving core in Vegas. So, I think Brock Bowers is going to get a lot of attention, obviously, for good reason in year 2. I think Trey Tucker is somebody I want to see a lot of. Jacoby Myers is clearly, the number one. I don't know how much separation he can get as a number one, but I like he's proven himself over the past couple of years. But Trey Tucker in that slot second position as wide receiver 2, I think is going to be really, really important if they're going to move the football. So I'm looking forward to seeing Trey Tucker this year.
Yeah, I think for the Chiefs, I like that second-year guy Hicks as a safety to replace Reed. I think he could be somebody that he's a hitter and he's a ball hawk. So we need that. I mean, I was going to say Hollywood Brown, but he's kind of a star, but he's hurt,
Yeah. I'm going to say, Ben, on behalf of the Chargers, I'm going to say Joe Alt taking that next step for the Chargers, and especially now that he has to replace Rashawn Slater at left tackle. Can he be a great left tackle just as he was a great right tackle as a rookie and just stonewalling people kind of left and right as a rookie?
I mean, because they got so many guys coming back that, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen means that the guys they had weren't really – I mean, I like McClunky. He's a big-time player. I'm sorry. That's the Chargers, right? McClunky?
Yeah.
McClunky, yeah. And Mike Williams is gone. He
retired, right?
But it better be Omarion Hampton, even though he a rookie, because I mean I like Najee Harris, but Najee Harris had 4,000-yard seasons, and as soon as they can get him out of Pittsburgh, he's gone. So all that Mike Tomlin loved, and so I think it's going to be Omarion Hampton because I think they're going to find a way to utilize him with Najee Harris being his solid backup.
Broncos fan 33, what do you got for us?
Is that me? Okay, great. I mean, gotta be excited about Bo Nix. But for we're talking just general offense, I would say Marvin Mims. I think we saw flashes of him last year, and I mean, I really don't. I think Cortland Sutton's an okay wide receiver. I don't think he's a great wide receiver. And I think Marvin Mims is young and explosive and could take a good leap this year.
Man, I disagree with you about Sutton, man. That dude makes some crazy catches. He's a chief killer too.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think he's a good wide receiver. I don't think he's like, that next. When I think about him and like, especially in fantasy football, I don't ever think he'll be one of those top 20 guys that you want to draft. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. He catches touchdowns. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the preview here. If you've watched any of the other shows, this is kind of how I do it. So I'm going to give you kind of three different categories here. So a key question that I have, a position and a player to watch, and then will the team simply record-wise be better than 2024? So that's kind of my parameter. So, and again, this is my preview, so this is not, copyrighted from anywhere. This is my preview. All right. We'll start with the Chargers since they're the ones that me and Ben are kind of representing here. And you guys can obviously still comment on the Chargers as well. Chargers FanDuel over-under is 9.5 wins. Key question for me is the interior of the offensive line, and I'm going to add now that Joe Alt is now at left tackle, I'm going to say left tackle as well. This offensive line, can they protect Herbert? And Herbert, we all know he is a good player, but he has to take that next step. And I mean, win a playoff game, maybe even two. He is so freaking talented, but he's got to take the talent that's around him. And now that he is in the second year with Jim Harbaugh, he's got to get the protection from the O-line. So that's my key question there. My position to watch is receiver. I think you hit it, Ben. Ladd McConkey, he's good. Keenan Allen obviously is old now, and he's going to still be a certain number of catches, but it's not going to be what it was in 2017. Mike Williams retired. Quentin Johnson is a guy that I'm interested to watch. He's kind of been up and down in his first few years in the league. Trey Harris, the rookie out of Ole Miss, is someone who they drafted to fill that X slot. My breakout player is going to be Joe Alt. I do think he is going to anchor that O-line, especially with Slater going down. He is going to be able to take that left tackle slot and run with it. And, Jim Harbaugh, if anyone was not watching, Jim Harbaugh loves offensive linemen. If people who were claiming for him to take a wide receiver last year at number 5 overall just don't know Jim Harbaugh. Like, it was a Jim Harbaugh pick to take Joe Alt at number 5, even though they had Rashawn Slater already at left tackle. I mean, he is a guy who just loves his hog mollies, as Dave Gettleman used to say in Charlotte when he was GM with the Panthers. And then do I think they'll be better than 2024 record-wise? I'm going to say yes with a question mark. I think 9.5 is their over-under. I think they can get to 10, but because of this injury, I think 9, maybe 8 if they underperform might be more realistic, but I think 10 wins is definitely a possibility.
The thing about the Chargers is, a lot of sizzle, no steak. They're going to get they're going to win the offseason every single year. When you got a guy, under center like they do, but the thing about the Chargers is this. We talk about at a certain point, you are what the film says you are. You are what we see every year. You're going to be in a lot of games, and while good teams find a way to win, the Chargers will find a way to lose them. They got a lot of star power, and I think for nothing. I think they got stars everywhere. They got a young star in Hampton. They got McClunky. They got Derwin James, and they got names all over. They're the Chargers. And look, I got drafted with Phillip Rivers. I don't know if you can play the quarterback position with the Chargers better than Phillip Rivers, and what they got to show for it. Not much. Not no AFC Championship games. No nothing. And like I said, they're going to be exciting. But just like I said, with Harbaugh coming back to the league, he picked the wrong division to come back in. We'll see. I don't see him. I see him getting right around 8 wins. And if they wasn't in this division, they would win a lot more games. But like I say, I know other divisions get a lot of love for how much they hate each other. No, AFC West, it's a genuine hatred. They cannot stand each other. I mean, Broncos guy come on. The first thing you say, "Oh man, I didn't know we had a Chiefs dude on here." Yeah, we got every division has
It took me a second. It makes sense to me now. I understand what you guys are doing. It took me a hot second though.
Oh no. It's but the Chargers will be exciting. I think you're gonna have Keenan Allen is back to break all the records. He wants the receiving record. He wants the catches. He's not gonna get the touchdowns from A1, Antonio Gates. But outside of breaking records or potentially breaking records, it's going to be the other Harbaugh in the AFC Championship game. That would be the one in Baltimore, not the one in LA.
Before I move on to one of the other three teams, let me just ask you the question: do the Chargers scare you guys as an opponent? I mean, what are your thoughts on the Chargers?
Yeah, their wide receivers are big, and they've always given the Chiefs problems, and the games are always close. So. And their offensive line got better. Well, except for that injury. And their scheme, man, they just play well against the Chiefs. So they scare me, but Chiefs just have to win their division. They play to win their division. Go 4-2 or 5-1 in their division, and that's a good start for the rest of the season. That's their focus. They win a division, they get a playoff game at home. Kind of thing.
I feel a little bit like Ben about the Chargers. I've seen them collapse too many games. I've seen the Raiders beat them when the Raiders don't have any business beating anybody. And with all the talent around the field, for some reason they can't pull it together. So when I get ready on those Sundays, I feel a little more optimistic than I do the other ones against Denver and Kansas City. But we'll see.
All right, let's move on to my next team here in the AFC West. Broncos fan 33, I'm coming to you. So we've got the Denver Broncos over under, according to FanDuel, also 9.5 wins. So here is my question for the Broncos. How about that running game? You've got RJ Harvey. You've got free agent signing J.K. Dobbins. Sean Payton, I think, wants to prepare that Harvey Dobbins duo in the backfield, kind of like he did with Reggie Bush and Mark Ingram back in the day with the Saints. They let Javonte Williams go in free agency. Now he's in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Their running backs, here's a stat for you. Their running backs last year had one more touchdown 7 than fumbles 6. So where's the running game this year for the Broncos? That's my big question. My position to watch.
It's my question too. I don't know either. That's a great question.
Yeah. My position to watch is linebacker. I love the Dre Greenlaw signing from the 49ers. Can he stay healthy? Remember, he's the guy who injured his Achilles right in the Super Bowl coming back into the game. Heartbreaking situation a few years ago. Alex Singleton missed most of 2024 with an ACL injury, but he should be back for the Broncos. Again, health permitting. So Broncos linebackers is my position to watch. It's like you're looking at my notes, Andrew, because Marvin Mims Jr. is my breakout player for the Broncos. That's who I predict as well to be that guy for the Broncos. He's a gadget guy. He's got excellent hands. He's an all-pro returner. He could blossom into that high-level receiver. Peyton Winton gave him a more consistent role on offense back, I want to say the first 5 to 6 weeks of the season, final weeks of the season. He gave him a more consistent role on offense. He had 5 touchdowns over those last 5 games, 431 yards. And so I think he's going to be a bigger impact this year. And then will I think they'd be better record-wise? Yes, I think this team can most challenge the Chiefs for the division. So I think they can definitely get to that 9.5 wins. A more comfortable Bo Nix with more explosive weapons around him. And don't forget, Evan Ingram signed as well to tight end, one of the league's best offensive line. Sign me up for Denver Broncos at 10 wins at 2025.
Is that winning division?
We'll see. You tune in 3 weeks from now for our season predictions episode, and you'll get my full prediction.
As long as we're better than the Chiefs, I'm happy. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Jeez.
I mean, Evan Ingram isn't getting talked about enough. I mean, I'm still trying to understand why he's not a Jacksonville Jaguar with the things he did. But if Evan Ingram is a smaller, faster, more athletic Jimmy Graham. That's what he is. And it's hard to say anybody's more athletic than Jimmy Graham, but if anybody can find a way to get him the football, it is Sean Payton. Bo Nix is going to love Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram plays. He's from the state of Georgia, even though he went to Ole Miss. People make mistakes, but he's a big time talent. I think he's going to be great in that offense. I mean, you talk about stud tight ends. I mean, that'll be another show for another day. But if you want tight end play, look no further than the AFC West. I'm just saying. He said as long my take. Listen, my Broncos take as long as we're better than the Chiefs. We good.
Yeah, no, I mean, in all seriousness, like I really think that we're going to make the playoffs, unless Bo Nix gets injured. Although Jared Stidham didn't look that bad in preseason, but that's just preseason. So the question is, how good will we be? And I do think that this year the Broncos and the Chargers will be the best in the division. So. I really do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
There's a reason.
Tom, I need to hear your voice on this one, buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
Tom, where are you, my guy?
Well, Ben said earlier that Bo Nix had better stats than Jaden Daniels, and they also had a better defense. And hey.
Who's Patrick Mahomes going to throw the ball to? I mean, he doesn't really have anybody.
The Broncos' defense is sick, though. They're going to be,
Listen, Patrick Surtain is going to be a great father and a great husband one day because he has patience like I've never seen. I don't care what you do at the line. He's like, all the little cute stuff the receivers do when you watching them online. Patrick Surtain, like, just come forward and watch what I do. When I put my hands on you, I bet you we're a long ways away from Devontae Adams saying he's not there yet. Oh, he's there now. And I bet you won't be saying that. I ain't seen the Pat Surtain in a long time, man. That dude is, he's full-blown legit. And he's already signed this deal. They better be lucky they gave him his money 2 years ago. But if Jerry Jones was his owner, well, he'll never give him a new deal. He'll wait 7 years, into the league. But yeah, y'all got a good D. Y'all gonna have a good offense. It's gonna be a battle of the minds in the AFC West this year. Y'all got, Pete Carroll, Harbaugh, you know what I'm saying? Big Red. Yeah.
Everybody's better on paper. Everybody's
Wait,
better.
when did they sign? When did Pete Carroll become the coach of the? That's interesting. When did that happen? I must be out of touch.
Oh, with the Raiders? Oh man, that happened. Man, happened in the off season, right? Happened. It was
Normally
big news.
Like January, February time frame when the coaching coaches happen. The coaching hires normally happen. They moved on after one season from Antonio Pierce, and Pete Carroll was out of coaching obviously this past season, and he decided to come back.
Yeah,
interesting.
Pete Carroll spent a year with his wife, and either she told him to get out of here, or he left. Tom Brady spent a year out of football. He's in the booth. So hey, man, and Tom Brady is back in the NFL as an owner of the Raiders. That's crazy. That's crazy to even think about, but it is going down. It is happening.
All right, let's move in. Any other final thoughts on the Broncos before I move on? Anybody?
They're just amazing, and I can't wait for them to win the whole thing. So.
Hey, you need to go follow Mike Tannenbaum at ESPN, former general manager of the Jets and the Dolphins. His pick to win the Super Bowl this year is the Broncos.
That's okay. That's crazy, but I like that. That's cool.
That's why Mike Tannenbaum is no longer in the front office and he is in the booth. I'm just saying that's why. I love Mike, but you can say all kind of stuff. Listen, the ratings were down. He had to get some clicks. I respect it, Mike. I respect it.
Yeah. Hey, didn't some other player just buy into a team too? A retired player, like was it the Redskins or? Yeah. I thought I heard something that another retired NFL player bought into a team.
I think. Well, I know that Charles Woodson has reached out to Tom Brady about what it takes to be an owner, to be a part owner of a team. I'll look into it. I wouldn't listen. Tom Brady is trying to show everybody else $350 million to be in the booth. Now I'm part owner of the Raiders. Just got a statue in New England. Tom Brady is living the life. If I see another Hertz commercial with Tom Brady on it, hey man, he's doing his thing right now. I can't be mad at the GOAT right now.
Yeah.
The one thing I heard, just to wrap up with the Broncos, Darren Sproles back in New Orleans with Sean Payton, obviously, and then the Chargers as well, since we're still in the division. He will be doing a coaching internship with Sean Payton next year with the Broncos. So there you go. You're going to see Darren Sproles on your sideline starting in 2026. Just fun fact there.
Sounds good to me.
All right, well, let's go to the Raiders. The 6.5.
That's the last.
6.5 wins over under on FanDuel. Here's my question for the Raiders. Is this roster simply good enough to compete? Geno Smith at quarterback, John Spytek, GM, head coach Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, offensive coordinator coming over from Ohio State. They have cornerstone running back Ashton Jeanty as their first-round draft pick. Is this more than a 6-win roster? Can they really compete with some of the additions that they've made this year? My position to watch is offensive line. Let's be honest, they were one of the worst units in 2024, and I'm going to just say that as nicely as I can. They signed former Bengals guard Alex Kappa. They have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer as kind of blocking tight ends when needed. But he went out and Panthers did not renew Pete Carroll's son, Brennan Carroll, who then came over to the Raiders to help with the run blocking on the O-line. So he's got a O-line coaching history. So his son there now with the Raiders. So my position to watch is the offensive line. My breakout player for the Raiders, I had to think about this one because I could have done so many players because, I mean, outside of Brock Bowers, there's I'm going to go with Jack Besh, though, the rookie from TCU. I think, everyone knows about the tragedy he had in New Orleans with his brother back in January. Tragedy, obviously, there. But he looks really good to me in camp, and he's had a nice start. The beat writers are really talking, pumping him up out there like they should. And I think he's going to be a really good weapon for Geno Smith. I mean, Brock Bowers, he's going to get double coverage. Ashton Jeanty's going to hopefully find some holes as a rookie. But I like Jack Besh, and I think he's going to be a breakout player to watch. And then do I think they're going to be better than that 6 wins in 2024? Yes. But I will say temper your expectations. I think 7-10 is a realistic goal. So they get that 6.5, go to 7 wins. I think that's very fair for 2025. Christian Wilkins, as we know, not there anymore. But I don't expect a Chargers-like playoff surprise from the Raiders, not just yet. So that's my Raiders analysis.
Yeah, I think the wide receiving core, I love that call. I think it's wide open. Like I said earlier, I'm looking forward to seeing Trey Tucker, some of these other guys step up. Dante Thornton is a 4th-round draft pick out of Tennessee. I really like what he's doing. I think the preseason game against Seattle, it worried me on the line. The offensive line was not coordinated. Ashton Jeanty had 3 carries for -1 yard. And again, I get that it's preseason, but it just did not seem like they were flowing very well. So I worry about both interiors of both sides of the football, stop the run and run the football to be successful. So we'll see. But 7, I think I'd be thrilled with 7 or 8 wins this year.
When I look at the Raiders this year, I see a lot of guys with a lot of things to prove. I mean, Devin White was I think was the 4th overall pick when he came out of LSU. He was on a Hall of Fame trajectory down there in Tampa. And after they won the Super Bowl a couple of years later, he's gone. I mean, he's out of town, went to Philly, got cut. Then I see another guy, Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith that went to Notre Dame and got drafted by Dallas. He's a Raider. But another guy that had a really, really good year, Raheem Mostert. He was down there in Miami. Backing up Ashton Jeanty, Zamir White is the only guy in California that rides horses. He got a horse. It's out there. I seen it. It's out there. I think the Raiders are going to be very, very interesting because of who's coaching them. Pete Carroll has more of a college-type atmosphere, a compete all the time. It worked in Seattle until it didn't. Guess what? It worked a long time in Seattle. The quicker that you bring a Geno in, to help gel the entire culture, Max Crosby can fit in any culture. He terrorizes quarterbacks. The quicker they can get that culture is when they're gonna start competing. I think you got some really, really good pieces, but you got to have the culture there. And I think once they build that culture right, they're gonna win some games. Listen, you got to win some games you're not supposed to win. You got to compete in games that you outmatched in. I think the Raiders are gonna be very, very interesting this season. We'll see.
Yeah, and don't forget about Jamal Adams either. So they brought him in, and he's been hurt for the past couple of years, but he's he is, he remembers the days of the Legion of Boom, right? And those are really important, leaders to be on the field. And he was the most impressive player on the field for the Raiders in the preseason game was Jamal Adams, which they pulled him in from the secondary. So he's playing linebacker now, and he's just free to hit people. And that's what he does best. So we'll see if those guys, I love seeing those names too, Devin White, Jamal Adams, some of those guys coming back from injuries and just having a down couple years. And you make a great point, something to prove. So hopefully it pays off on the field.
Jamal Adams is a slightly shorter Derwin James. Because they use Derwin James can cover people, but he wants to hit people. Jamal Adams, I can't remember the safety that came out of Mississippi State that y'all drafted the first round some years back. He was a thumper. And when you got safety that want to hit people, they don't want to cover people.
I'll remember him in a second. Jonathan something.
Abrams.
Jonathan Abrams.
Yes, that's it.
So Jamal Adams, Jalen Smith, Devin White, those are going to be guys they playing not just for this year, they playing for their football future and to prove, hey, man, we former first-team All-Pro and Super Bowl champs. We got something to prove. The Raiders will be interested, man. And like I say, Brock Bowers, I'm so happy he's no longer in the SEC. Love him, but Jesus Christ, he's killing my Gators.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know those slight references, Ben, my co-host here, former Florida Gator tight end, went to the Gators, and then obviously he said at the top played for the Bucs, Raiders, and Titans in the league. And so I
met Al Davis, man. Al Davis gave me the thumbs up. And he had on the all-white jumpsuit. My football life is complete, people. And when you do stuff like that, hey, man, the rest is history, man.
I love it. That's cool.
Before we get to the Chiefs, one of my questions that I sent over, I always like this question. It's very fun and not intended to be star player driven, though you can go there if you really, really want to. That way, I just like to see a variety of answers. Who is a player within your division, but obviously not on your own team, that you wish was on your team?
Pat Surtain.
Oh, very good. 2 for 2.
Honestly, I said it earlier. You can't get these guys, these corners like the Darrelle Revis, those guys that just shut somebody down. Richard Sherman back in the day, like that. You can lock down an entire side of the field. It's Pat Surtain, and I will give the Chiefs a nod too because I'm stressed out about the interior of the front line for the Raiders. Chris Jones is an animal, and if you put him side by side with Max Crosby, that would be hard to beat. So those two guys.
I'd say the Chargers could use Max Crosby or a Pat Surtain for sure. Probably more Pat Surtain than Max Crosby for the Chargers. Broncos fan 33, what do you got?
It's a good question. I'm trying to think.
He won't pick a Chief, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, kind of wish we had taken a running back instead of a cornerback.
Not Mahomes? Come on, man.
No, I really believe Bo Nix is good to build around. I mean, I just wish we had a good wide receiver, like a really top notch wide receiver. Nothing against Cortland Sutton. I think he's doable, but I like a real threat.
So it sounds like you take Ladd McConkey on your team from the.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Ladd McConkey, like someone like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mahomes, he don't have any wide receivers.
Who ain't got none? Who ain't got no wide receivers?
Well, I mean, we got a weak wide receiving core. We've always had that last few years anyway.
Y'all got Patrick.
Yeah. He's a different cat, that dude.
Well, he got rid of his mohawk, so he's taking life a little bit serious these days. Now, if he don't win, he's gonna go back to the mohawk. But right now, it's a little darker. I don't know if he's been working out.
How many? What's his name? The guy that's suspended. How many games is he out? The receiver.
I haven't heard yet. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, we haven't heard yet. They haven't ruled on that yet.
Got it.
I don't know what they're waiting for, but.
Trying to decide if I'm gonna draft him in fantasy or not.
Yeah,
he's going to be tough, man. He'll be a problem if he's, when he's back. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I know the moment you all been waiting for, Tom, is the Chiefs. Let's go. Chiefs over-under is 11.5 wins. That is the over-under. My key question, and this is going to sound weird. I realize that. Was their 2024 season a fluke, or was the Super Bowl the outlier? So let me explain this. Kansas City went 12-0 last year and won score games, a record that came after Isaiah Likely and his toe in the season opener.
Yeah.
In overtime. That run continued all the way until the Super Bowl when they lost 40-22, as we know, to the Philadelphia Eagles, exposing that offensive line, 6 sacks allowed on despite 0 blitzes. So we saw 2 years ago with the Vikings, they had the same thing. They were like 11-1 and 1-score games and they in 2023, and then they came back to the mean in 2024. I just don't think that's sustainable in 2025. So we'll see what happens there. My position to watch, I think you're going to guess it, Tom, it's left tackle. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, revolving door there between Kingsley. I'm not going to go for his last name and some of the other guys that they had there. Jalen Moore was signed, obviously former backup for the 49ers, and then obviously drafting Josh Simmons, who I think is ultimately going to be your first round, who is going to be your starting day left tackle, in my opinion. And again, shout out to you, Tom. My breakout player was someone you already mentioned. It was Jaden Hicks, safety. I think he is going to be your breakout player, replacing Reed in that back 7. I think despite how valuable Justin Reed was in that system, he is a Washington State product who was the best safety in 2024 class, but fell somehow to the 4th round. So I like that a lot. And then will they be better than 2024? I'm going to say no in the win-loss column, but maybe on the field itself, yes, they will be better.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, so I think maybe not 11.5 wins, but I think they can get to 10 wins. 11 technically would not meet the 11.5. So, yeah, 10 or 11 wins.
They're going to be better, but they won't be 15. They won't win them games, I don't believe. They'll probably lose, let's say, 1 or 2 in their division and, 2 or 3 outside the division during the schedule. So, 5, what's 5? 12-7? 12-5? Yeah.
12-5. Ooh. See, y'all talking about winning teams in which
they know how to win. They know how to play to the very end.
No.
I mean, they got lucky. I'm not going to sit here and say that they didn't get lucky, but some of the
go ahead.
I don't know. They complain about the calls, but some of them calls were blatant. I don't know what they're complaining about, but the Cincinnati game, that was an obvious mauling, and they, and that led to them winning that game. That stuff ain't going to happen. They're not going to block a kick again and win. So, that was just freaky. But I don't think 5 losses is 6 would be 11. I don't know if they'll lose 6 games.
They lose 6 games. People gonna start losing their freaking mind. Don't they got something going on? They all trying to go from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas. They lose 6 games. The stadium is going to Kansas. They're like, listen, we're going to Kansas State. But no, I would say this. I think last year they proved they can win in a different way. We've grown to see Kansas City win in a dominating way. Last year, I think they was most dangerous because they weren't winning dominating. They were just winning, period. Yep. And I think sometimes we just and I think that if Patrick Mahomes ain't the best player in that division, one of the best players in the league, we get he is. He didn't play like it last year. People like, what's going on with Kansas City? I mean, they still, top seed in the West. But I will say this about Kansas City, right? Everybody thinks that Travis Kelce is going to take a step back in 2025. I beg to differ. Travis Kelce, like, y'all don't think I could play still? Yes, I know, yes, I get it, who I'm dating and all that kind of, I get that. Travis Kelce don't like the fact that Brock Bowers was a first-team All-Pro as a rookie. He don't like the fact that Evan Ingram was over there with Denver. They just had tight end him and George Kittle and Greg Olsen. I mean, Brock Bowers coming in, they're clapping for him. Good job, Brock. I think that Travis Kelce is going to have he's going to, that fountain of youth, man, because the way they let him run routes in that offense, it's not like every other tight end. Look, go get open, Travis. All right. I think it's going to be something to watch, but I think y'all breakout player going to be Nick Bolton. I think he's such an underrated linebacker. That dude hits everything that moves, everything. So he's going to be one to watch for me.
He's their quarterback. If they get any kind of production out of their running backs, out of their, it doesn't have to be running the ball either. They got a good, they got some guys that can catch the ball. They just have to get better production out of their running back somehow, and that'll help them out, I think. You know, they don't have to have a 1,000-yard rusher, but
yeah. We're gonna wind down here. About 10 more minutes here. I'm just curious though. From so Tom, you can answer in a second after I hear from Raiders and Broncos fan here. Do you guys okay? Let's make this make sense. Is the success of the Chiefs? Granted, I know it comes at your team's expense. I get that. Is it good for the league? Well, actually, hold on. Let me say it this way. Do you appreciate the greatness of Patrick Mahomes and kind of this, we'll say, mini dynasty the Chiefs have kind of been on? Do you appreciate that as a fan or as a division rival of the Chiefs? You're like, no, I don't at all. Like, this is coming at the expense of my team, and I want them to not win. I'm tired of it.
I don't at all. I'm tired of it. I will tell you that I had the same feeling about Brady since the Tuck rule game in the snow. I can't stand these guys when they're so great, and then I appreciate them later. It's a little bit about what I'm going through. I'm a Michael Jordan guy. It's a little bit about what I'm going through with LeBron, right?
Yeah,
I couldn't stand him for years and years, but now I've got a level of appreciation for what he's been able to do. Eventually, I'll get there with Mahomes, but not now. I'm ready for it to be over. I want it to be over.
Woo. I mean, appreciation is such a strong word because it means that I'm admiring them while they're doing it. No, I mean, I played in the AFC South when Peyton Manning was Peyton Manning with the Colts. And I can admire what he's doing, but I hated him because I'm like, God, it's like, just be normal. One game, Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. You're not going to beat these dudes. We had to kick, we didn't, but Robert Rone's got to kick 60-some yards field goals. I know they just had to kick a 70-yarder. I think it's for the Jags or somebody. If you got to kick 60-some yard field goals, that's how bad your team is, or that's how good the other team is. But I do agree. Patrick Mahomes makes me sick. That's how good he is. And I really, really think no player in the NFL wants to be the guy that ends this season. When they hit Pat, they hit him, but they don't. They like, hey, dude, you don't want to get 1 million followers because you just hurt 1.5. And I get it. Peyton Manning missed a whole season because his neck, can't hit a quarterback high. Tom Brady missed a whole season because his knee, can't hit a quarterback low. Have you seen some of these other quarterbacks get hit? But they weren't the faces. When you're the face of the league, that comes with a different kind of pressure. Look, the Kansas City Chiefs are the evil empire of the National Football League. And you got to love it, like the Yankees. You got to love it. And this is the respect I think y'all giving they're giving you, Tom. Listen, Denver Broncos fan, come on. First thing he says is, you got a Chiefs fan over here? Hey, I just want to be better than the Chiefs. That's respect right there. I don't like those dudes. Not because we can't beat them. It's just hard to beat the best team. That's what this show is called Winning a Division for a reason. You want to control your own destiny, win the division. Let all that other stuff. Because if you don't win your division, boy, you need everything. You need everything to happen. You need to win the lottery. You need a lot of stuff to happen. But I never thought I would see a Kansas City dynasty like this. But that's why the quarterbacks go so high. That's why everybody wants one. Because if you get the right one and he's there for 10, 15 years, outside of Phillip Rivers, I mean, he was there for 18? Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I mean, but Kansas City, either Philadelphia gave everybody the blueprint or they woke up a monster, and it's gonna get bad for everybody. We will see. We will definitely see.
Well, they got a tough schedule. I mean, so do the Denver and the Raiders. That whole division, they got to play the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Redskins, and the Giants are probably going to be improved too. But it's not a cakewalk for sure.
No, and I'll be honest, it comes from a place of envy, right? You probably have 28 teams that would give up their quarterback right now for yours, right? For Mahomes. Outside of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, right? Outside of those teams, everybody else would give it up. And so it's it's one of those things that, I mean, especially as a Raiders fan, I mean, I went through the Jamarcus Russell pick. I went through the Gardner Minshew experiment, the, Garoppolo, right? Like, it's been a struggle to find a capable guy. So looking forward to some stability from Geno, but again, you'd give it up for one of those 4 guys.
Ben, let's hear your 4 C's as we're nearing the end here. I know you like to do that.
Oh yeah. So obviously, coming from a football background, they try to give us different things when you talk about the division. When it comes to every division, you got 4 C's. I mean, you got the constant, you got the curious, you got the culture, and you got the concern. I'm gonna start with the easiest one is the culture. Kansas City got the best culture in this division. It's easy to see it. Everybody can see it from top to bottom. Guys get injured, y'all still win. Patrick Mahomes don't play well, y'all still win. Y'all don't dominate, y'all still winning. Which then sent me to the most curious team, and I think that's the Raiders. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, Tom Brady, Brock Bowers, Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins. That's curiosity top to bottom. I want to know, can those guys go past curiosity and really get to winning? The team I'm concerned about is the Broncos, not because they're not good. The NFL has a full year and a full season of tape on Bo Nix. And now, can he add to his tool belt? Because Bo Nix can play. Like, Bo Nix started off at Auburn, goes to Oregon, first round pick, should have been rookie of the year, but I don't know. I just think, but I think the Broncos are very, very, I'm concerned about the Broncos because of Bo Nix and how they're going to scheme him up this year. And obviously, the constant is the Chargers. They're constantly getting love, not because they're good. Because listen, people why people like the Chargers? It's because they have potential. They have a lot of potential to be good. We all got potential, right? Most of us ain't gonna live up to it, but I don't understand it. This is why. What have the Chargers done? The Chargers are the team that don't beat the team. They're the almost team. We would have won if we wouldn't have lost. Oh, had we played better? It's always like that with the Chargers, right? And Justin Herbert, what is he, 6'6"? Spent his whole life, I think he's from Oregon, went to Oregon, now he's in California. He looks the part, got a big arm. I don't like quarterbacks that can throw it 80 yards because it doesn't mean anything. He can throw it 80. For what? Yeah. Jamarcus Russell, he can throw it 70 yards on his knees. Well, he gonna be on his back if they don't get that O-line right? So for me, the constant is always the Chargers. I'm curious about the Raiders. The culture is the Chiefs, and I'm concerned about the Broncos because if these rookie quarterbacks can't take that second-year leap, all we're going to be talking about is how good he was as a rookie. But I think Bo Nix is gone. He looks the part, sounds the part. And like I say, he gets to talk trash to Sean Payton. Russell Wilson couldn't say nothing to Sean Payton. And you got a rookie talking trash. Y'all are one of my most intriguing divisions because y'all got the coaches, y'all got the quarterbacks, y'all got the personalities, y'all got players, first team All-Pro, second team All-Pros. That's what make a good division to me. And like I say, Tom, you already know everybody's coming for y'all. Everybody. The Broncos want to win it, but they definitely want to see Kansas City not win it, right? They're like, we want to win it, but I don't want to see Kansas City win it. That is that's how you know it's a rivalry. The rivalry is this: what would you rather have, your team win or the team you can't stand lose? That is the question. And people go, I want to win, but I want them to lose bad. It's gonna be hard to beat y'all Chiefs though, man. Like I say, I think somebody put Patrick Mahomes on the front cover of Men's Health. That's a lie, by the way. That's Photoshop. That is AI. No one's going to say anything. But when it comes to playing the position, he does what no other quarterback can do. Behind the back passes. That stuff works when it works, Tom. But in the Super Bowl, you can't do that stuff. You can't roll right and throw back left. I don't care who you are, but y'all will be very, very interesting. We will be watching. And like I say, man, not that it is silver and black. Not that y'all Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs fans care. No. It is the best looking uniform of football. We don't gotta like it because you can't mess up silver and black. You just can't. You just can't. I'm just saying.
I love it.
Let me go and close this out here. The last question I've got for you. I sent this to you earlier. Just your prediction. It can be a record. It can just be a general thoughts. How is your team gonna do in 2025? What do we got?
I'll go 8-9. and culture shift. So that's what I'm looking for, is learning how to win this year. Tempering expectations, but I like the 8-9 record.
Ben, what do you think? 9-8 for the Chargers?
Yeah. There'll be a game above 500. They'll be on the outside looking in, saying, I got it. The Chargers are the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. They are the wait till next year team.
There you go.
That is what they are. That is them.
Tom, Broncos fan, what do you got? Record or just thoughts on, or how's your team going to do?
My team, I think the record isn't going to be as good, but I think they'll still win the division. And when you talk about culture, you got Spags has been there for a while. Reed, they got all these coaches that have been together for a while. That plays a big part. And then plus I really believe that they look for certain types of players and then they mold them. They kind of go under the radar, some of these guys, and they don't have the name, but they somehow get stuff out of them, and they're rookies this year. I think they did a good job drafting, and you'll see some of them rookies be playing a lot more this year than normal. But I still think they'll win the division. It won't be as easy, but
going 12-5 for the Broncos. I feel good.
12-5. Okay.
Is that going to win the division?
I think we can. I really do.
If 12-5 don't win the division, good Lord! Like if that don't win it, that means that we talking about
Kansas City be 13-4.
Yeah, we talk. If 12-5 don't win, that means we got 2, maybe even 3 teams coming out of the same division to make the playoffs. I mean, it happened last year in the NFC North, so it can happen. I'm telling you, man. Hey.
So Denver will be a wild card at 12-5. Have to go on the road, and they'll be crying about that. To play a 9-8 or something team division winner or something,
They're gonna play that. They're gonna man. The AFC, they'll play a 9-8 division winner. That means that something crazy has happened across the rest of the wait a minute. I'm sorry, they're gonna have to play the 9-8 Houston Texans. Yeah. That'll be the team they gotta play in a dome.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, the Broncos play at Mile High, so they're used to playing, in the altitude. They've got that going for them, I guess.
Well, it'll be good with the Broncos because they whooped us last year, and we lucked out with that blocked field goal. They should have won both games actually. So, we'll have that on our shoulders, when we play them for sure.
All right. Well, gentlemen, that's a good place to end it. As we say here on Winning the Division, you are either winning your division or you are just in your division. For Ben Troupe, I'm Ryan Smith, and special thanks to our guests today here, Ryan, Andrew, and Tom, for their time. And tune in next week as we talk to the NFC West division next week. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and we will see you next time.
Have a good season. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it.